Okay, so just got my coffee. It is, let's see, 5:37 in the morning. So, let me change my shoes before I leave off this patio. I'm gonna go to my neighbor's patio because he has better acoustics and stuff, and he's in the States. So. But, uh, I was wanting to do a video on not only just my health, but our belief system in the United States. We have a very strange belief system. Okay, so our I'm realizing so much about my health. There is not one magic pill. And I am trying to find whatever I can find um, to cure my body. I have done a lot of things that made my life easier, made my health better. However, I'm still dealing with a lot of things. I'm still dealing with the tiredness, the constipation. Now, that's something that started back up, and that's so weird. When I went to SOOOO last month, ever since then, my system has just been. I'm not going to the bathroom on a regular basis, and that's a big problem. So I'm trying different things, and I will keep updating. I'm trying something new by fermenting my foods. Because I see it all the time here on the table. There's always like a jar, and it has like carrots and onions and green peppers and garlic and peppers and stuff in it, and you just put it on your food. I always wondered, like, that's just not what we do in the States, but I've got to understand, if everybody is sick, everybody's batshit crazy, obviously we're not doing things right. We have to come to that conclusion in our brains. This arrogant, oh, we're the best, we got all the answers. We got to get that crap out of our heads. We turn towards the light. Because we don't know what we're doing in the States. And it shows. So, but yeah, I've learned about fermenting foods. And I've seen it. My grandmother used to do it. My aunt used to do it. But when you grow up in the city and everything is done for you, you don't understand this stuff. You don't understand why they did this stuff. And basically, you're taking these vegetables. Like I cut up carrots, green peppers, onion, red onions, uh, yellow onions, garlic. I didn't have any peppers and cucumbers. And I put that all in a mason jar. And then I added a tablespoon of salt, a half a lime, and then I filled it with water. And it's been sitting there since July 9th. It is now, what, July 10th, 11th, 12th, I think? Might be the 11th. But, and it's supposed to sit, some say after 10 days it's good. Some say you got to let it sit for 4 months, 3 months, then I've been reading, it's all on your taste. Start tasting it at 4 days and taste it each day until it gets to your desired tartness. It's something about the salt in the water. When you lock it in a jar, it starts to ferment. You see the bubbles coming up, and it starts to change the compound. Whatever it is, it does something in your stomach to help you digest your food. So I'm gonna try it. I already got some going. It can't hurt. It definitely can't hurt. And see, that's what I mean about our belief system. We have so many things that we believe. We've been taught how to believe. We've been taught how to think. We don't think on our own. And when you think on your own, you become an outcast. You're crazy. Girl, you be thinking all kind of crazy stuff. You do all kind of crazy. No, I have a brain of my own. That's it. We all have brains of our own, but we've been taught not to use it. Take your kids out these schools. These schools are not teaching them anything. We've been taught so many weird things. Now, understanding your history is all a part of your health. And you may ask how. Well, your health, understanding what holistic health is. Whole, mind, body, and spirit. If you don't know who you are, where's your soul? And this is real talk. We have to think about why our identity was stolen. Not so much what was stolen. I mean, we want to learn that, but why? We have to think of if we were so fucked up, if we was just came from a dusty, dirty village, we were savages and didn't know nothing, and they brought us from Africa, which we all know that's a lie. Seriously? Why would they hide our history? Just let our fucked up history speak for itself and let our fucked up history fuck ourselves up. But when somebody's history is royal, yeah, you better lie. If your history was so great, why do you lie so much? Why do you make up stories? I mean, these are things we have to really think about. Being down here, I have the time. I have times where I go through where my mental clarity is great. Those are the days I get to researching so that I can comprehend what I'm researching. Because most days I can't comprehend what I'm researching. It's like my brain is just not functioning. I'm not absorbing things. It's like it goes in and it goes out. But I have these periods when I'm thinking in complete mental clarity. And those are the times when I start to research, I start to meditate so that I can draw understanding and clarity and understand what's going on in this world. Because I kept hearing this is a mental reality, and I didn't understand that for a while, but I get it now. This is a mental reality. When you think of all the things that we believe that are not true, but they're so real to us, it's a mental reality. Think about the lie of slavery, the grandiose lie of slavery. And most of us believe slavery was real, that they actually came to Africa and got us and put us in chains, and we didn't fight back. As strong as we are, we didn't fuck them up. Really? The absurdity. But you have to tell a lie so grandiose that people are like, there's no way they can lie about this. It has to be true. So grandiose. These lies, oh my God. And when you start seeing through the lies, your soul begins to heal, which in turn heals your body, heals your mind. There's so much. Now this was one thing I had to really research on, this whole thing about we're all humans. Because honestly, I didn't believe we were all humans. Didn't believe we were all humans. You can't tell me someone is human and they behave animalistic, beastly, savage. You can't tell me they're human. But after doing research, I realized everything comes from Mama Africa. Africa, the beginning, the motherland. It's everything. We are indigenous everywhere. So, how can we come from Africa? Okay, what is Africa? The continent now known as Africa is just a name given by Dutchmen. I'm finding out. This is something kind of blew my mind. I'm watching this African guy talk, and he says, oh, my coffee. I don't want it to get cold. But he says, when I hear someone say Africa, I know they're speaking English. I'm like, interesting. He said, but you have to understand, every African country has their own language and their own name for this mass that we stand on. So when I hear you say Africa, I know that you are speaking English. Wow, that said a mouthful. Understanding what Africa is. When people say Mama Africa, I understand now. It's a state of being. It's the beginning. It's the first. How can you say that we were indigenous on every nation, on every landmass, but yet say we all came from Africa? Tell me how much sense that makes. This is what I mean by our belief system. We believe some fucked up shit that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense logically. Logically, it does not make sense. You cannot tell me that we're indigenous everywhere, but yet turn around in the next breath and say we all come from Africa. I want you to explain that to me, because that doesn't make sense. You can't, so don't worry about it. But what I've learned is that as we moved around the world, the food changed us. The climate changed us. Like I think about certain areas where they eat a lot of turmeric. They have a yellowy copper tinge in their skin. In their hair. Because everyone swears I dye my hair. No. Because there is, again, our belief system. There is this belief if you're black, you're dark. You have black hair, you have dark eyes, and that's it. No. We come in many colors. From light to dark, copper, have you seen a penny and see, have you ever had 10 pennies and they're 10 different colors? That's how we are. Now, let's go a little further. How did Europeans get the way they are? Because we're indigenous in Europe. Wow. Who built the pyramids in Europe? Oh, there's pyramids in Europe? Oh, there's pyramids on every landmass. Says a mouthful. Because it's already been established. We are the only ones that can build it. Have built it. No one has been able to duplicate it. So, if we're indigenous in every landmass, wow, that changes everything. You can't say we're indigenous everywhere. We've built shit everywhere. Our mark is left everywhere, but yet we all come from Africa. Explain that. You can't. During the Ice Age, people had to seek protection. It was cold. So what did they do? They sought the protection of the mountains and the caves. Yes, this is true. These are facts. There's truth and then there's facts. Truth, there's two different truths. You ever hear people say there's three sides to every story? There's actually the two truths and the facts. There is the truth, the irrefutable truth, and then there is my truth, your truth, which is your perspective based on your experiences and your upbringing, how you view life. So if you believe a certain way, then you're going to think a certain way. So then there are facts, which goes in line with truth. But in the U.S., we tout things so much, they become facts and truths. They become truths and believed facts. I'll put it that way. Like the slavery story. It has been told so much since 1910. Yes, it just started getting told in 1910. That we have believed it. It's so insane how someone would tell a story like that. If you're so great, why do you have to lie? Why do you have to make up stories? You're great. Your greatness should speak for itself. Oh, your stories of greatness. I get it. I get it now. They're stories. When you start learning everything, you begin to realize, wow, we really are in a matrix. When I actually saw some writings written on the wall in tombs in Sudan that told the story of the Great Flood 6,000 years ago, it was written. But the Bible is inspired by God. When I actually saw the writings on the tombs where they got the 10 Commandments from, that was written 6,000 plus years ago. Of pyramids written by Africans. But the Bible's inspired by God. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. At what point do you wake up and face that you have been lied to? Did your parents mean to lie to you? No. They were lied to too. They were believing the lie. But at some point you have to realize, I'm not believing the truth. At some point you have to realize that everything is a lie. And a lot of people can't come to that conclusion. It destroys their world. No, not my Jesus. I know I've been waiting 2019 years, but I'm going to keep waiting because he's coming. He's coming to save me. Oh, God, the absurdity. It was put to me so funny, but yet so plain and simple. This all-powerful God, he is so powerful, so amazingly powerful, that the only way he could save humanity was to send his son to earth in human form, to be beaten and tortured. The absurdity. That's how powerful he was. Then, after he was hung and died because he was pierced with a stake, he rose from the dead and got on Chris Brown. I'm on some new shit, throwing up the deuces, but I love you, I'll be back. As he ascended into heaven. Remember, I love you. I know I'm leaving you in hell, but I'll be back. But deuces, I can't stand this shit. You see what they did to me. the absurdity of the lie. But when you hear the real story written on the walls, at some point you have to say, damn, I've been lied to my whole life. I've been believing some dumb shit. But you can't tell people nothing about that Jesus. You can't tell them nothing. They want to keep believing that someone's going to come and save them. Although no one has come to save them in 2019 years. Because it's 2019 BC. They gotta believe it. They gotta believe it. They can't believe anything else. They gotta have hope because of the hell that we live in, that we've created for ourselves. Because if we were never in slavery, what the fuck are we believing? Why are we allowing these beastly, animalistic demons to run our country? And yes, they are beastly, animalistic demons. Anyone that would pass laws to hurt someone is a beast. Anyone that comes in someone else's country and steals their land is a beast, a violent, savage, animalistic beast. Let's be real. We've got to change the narrative. Because the narrative is part of the problem. We don't want to hurt their feelings. It doesn't matter that they've destroyed us mentally. We don't want to hurt their feelings. And no, I'm not speaking about all white people. They come from us. They black too. They African too. But during the Ice Age, they got pushed. You gotta understand melanin. When there's no sun to activate it, it starts to fade. Now, you might think, so, the skin got lighter. Melanin also activates the pineal gland. Understanding the pineal gland, oh, damn these ants. That's what gives us our humanity. That's what gives us our soul. If you have no melanin, guess what happens to your pineal gland? It dries up and calcifies. Facts. Science. Do your own independent research. Please don't listen to nothing that I say. Do your independent research. 85% of all Europeans' pineal gland is calcified because of the Ice Age. So the fact that they're evil, most of them, is not their fault. They can't help themselves. 85% of them. Now there is that 15% that have human emotions, human thoughts, because they have a pineal gland. Facts. Science. Don't believe nothing that I say. Please go do your own independent research and you will find 85% of all Europeans, Eurasians, have no pineal gland because of the Ice Age. It makes so much sense now. That's why they're so demonic. And you'll find some that are like, I'm not like that, which they aren't. There's some that are normal humans because they have a pineal gland. Their pineal gland is able to produce certain chemicals that allows them to have empathy, sympathy, human emotion, love. Then when you don't have a pineal gland, you can't have those emotions. Now, let's look around the world. And now you tell me, am I making this up? Before you go research. Just look at what's been done around the world. Look at what's been done in India. Look at what's been done. See, you gotta research what's been done. What's been South America? Oh my God. The amount of murder that Europe has done. Great Britain. How you gonna call yourself great? Someone else has to call you great. It makes sense. Killed off most of South America and Central America. Killed off almost all the indigenous. And brought their people. When you see what's going on in the world, not the bullshit they feed you on the news. Oh my God. You'll begin to say, I get it now. No pineal gland. And because of the fucked up foods that they have forced upon the world, do your own independent research. 15% of all people of color now have no pineal gland. So this is explaining the evil in the world. But 85% of Europeans, it makes so much sense now. So much sense. The evil and demonic, sick, violent, savage, behavior. The fact that people sit around, look at the news and, so what? A human life was taken. Let's go have lunch. No pineal gland. People that you don't even know, no pineal gland. Because if you had a pineal gland, human emotion kicks in. Oh my God, what is happening? What is going on? A human life has been lost. But when you have no pineal gland, you can't have those emotions. It makes so much sense now, and they all have moved to the U.S. That's why the U.S. is so isolating. Y'all better recognize, y'all keep wanting to mix. Y'all need to make sure that they have a pineal gland before y'all mix. And I'm so serious about that. No hate involved. This is science. Do you want your child? Because if you don't have a pineal gland, you can't produce the chemicals that give you these emotions. So if you mix with someone who doesn't have one, your child has a 50-50 chance of not having human emotions. Facts, no hate. Because they could be black with no pineal gland. You need to make sure, why do you think people behave the way they do? You cannot be human and behave the way you do. You cannot be. The lack of the pineal gland means that they cannot produce human emotions. They cannot produce melanin, which is vital to life. Just like chlorophyll in plants are vital to plant life, melanin is vital to human lives. And if you don't have it, why do you think they 25 and look 40? No pineal gland. They cannot produce melanin. They cannot produce these chemicals. Why do you think we crack black don't crack? It's not just a saying. It's because most of us have a pineal gland and we keep producing chemicals that keep our collagen that keeps our skin looking young. People look at me my whole life now. Since I got sick, I started looking my age. But people used to tell me, oh, you look like you in your 20s. I'm like, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or an insult. Now, if I got a child that's almost 30, how the hell am I in my 20s? I think I look my age. Knocking on 50. But it's no hate involved. These are facts. This is science. But see, in the U.S., we don't deal in facts. We deal in who touts the loudest, who's got a news platform, and who just keeps saying the same bullshit over and over again. The stuff that we are told is so insane sometimes. When you sit and really think about it, it is so insane. Costa Rican coffee. So good. Nothing like that bullshit they feed us in the U.S. That's probably 10% coffee. The rest bullshit. Anyway. But it's when you start learning real history, not the bullshit that we're taught in the United States. That's another part of your healing. Mm. Don't take my word for anything. Please go do your own independent research. Please. So you know you don't believe nothing. You don't have faith about nothing. That you will know. I don't believe in belief. I don't believe in faith. I believe in knowing. That's why I never could get into religion. Believe? What? Faith? What? No, I need to know. I can't believe in nothing. I can't believe in something that I cannot see, I cannot touch, I cannot taste. If it does not stimulate any of my five senses, I'm sorry. I cannot believe in it. I cannot have faith in it. I have to know it in my heart, in my spirit, in my bones. And religion, Now, in saying that, I do not believe in God. Religion has nothing to do with God. Religion is a belief system to control. You can have a religion about food. You can have a religion about animals. You can have a religion about farming. You can have a religion about so many different things. It's not, but we have made it about God. And it's spread around the world. Religion has absolutely nothing to do with God. Nothing. God is the connection between you. You will not see God until you come to nature. When you start seeing that connection between earth, air, human, cells, breathing, water, animals, the sky, the celestial beings up there, when you start seeing that connection, that's God. That is God. That connection is God. Now, the celestial beings, I know we're taught a lot of bullshit about that, but everybody believes in it. It's a full moon, people acting crazy. That's our connection. That's one of the connections. If we can believe that, why can't we believe that other elements affect us? We can believe the moon does. Everybody believes that. But we cannot believe in any other celestial beings affecting our body. I don't understand that. Stop thinking about what's been told to you and just think logically. If we can believe that the moon affects our being, if the moon affects women's periods, 28-day cycle, why can't we believe that any other element we know that the sun shines and makes things grow. When children play in the sun, they smile and they get happy. That is a connection with celestial beings. Why can't we believe Saturn, Pluto, Uranus, Mars, different rocks and things, stars affect us? Why is it only just the sun and the moon? Stop thinking about, just put down religion for a minute and think logically. Just think. Because we're not taught to think in the United States. We're taught to just download, download, download. Things are downloaded into our brains and then we regurgitate it. We don't actually learn anything. We're downloaded with information. And then we regurgitate them at times. That's not learning. So we don't even understand half the shit we say. I'm asking my mother the other day about religion, and I'm like, Mommy, if your Bible tells you you are a God, look within. What does that mean? And you know what she said? Well, we don't really understand these things. So what the hell are you believing in? If you don't understand, what are you believing in? That's a real question. Real talk. What are you believing in? Let's think logically. We don't think logically. We don't. We just regurgitate what's been downloaded in our brains since birth. Mama went to church, grandma went to church, granddad went to church. I used to hear years ago that in ancient African times, if anything popped up in a bloodline like rape, they would kill that person and the entire bloodline. And I was like, oh my God, that is savage. But think about it. They knew the bloodline is tainted. We don't want this mess in our society. We pass on genes. So if there's a what do you call it, birth defect that caused some kind of misnomer in your development, that caused you to think in a way that you will abuse children or rape someone, then you can pass that gene along. You don't want that in your society. I get it. Kill the whole bloodline. Y'all get my point? Mm, mm. Look at our elite. Look at our governors and mayors and our president. Look at their belief system. They are now trying to pass laws that say that child pedophilia is a normal human emotion. Kill the bloodline. They pass along them genes. Take out the blood. You ever seen that show Designated Survivor? When there was a big meeting at the Capitol building and someone bombed the Capitol building, killing everyone. The designated survivor was a man who no one ever thought would become president. That's why they picked him. He ain't gonna never become president, so we gonna pick this guy. He was a quote-unquote nobody, like the the secretary of HUD. And they was like, let's let him be the designated survivor. Well, he became president after everybody else was killed, and he started changing things. Mm, mm, mm. These TV shows are telling you something. They are seriously telling you something. Like the 3%, that's our society. How the elite, the 3%, treat everyone else like shit. Will gun you down with no thought, no pineal gland. If you are looking at the news, seeing someone get gunned down, and you are thinking nothing about it, you have no pineal gland. If that doesn't disturb you, you have no pineal gland, period. Look up a pineal gland and what it does and how it affects the brain and the body. I get it now. Kill off the bloodline. It just makes sense. Designated survivor. Just look at the first episodes. Designated survivor. How everyone died. And the world began to change. All them evil, non-pineal gland having people. Just some things I was thinking about. And I want you to think too. Stop just listening to what's been told to you. I know your mom, your dad, all of them have good intentions. Pastor, good intentions. But what's that old phrase? The pathway to hell was paved with good intentions. Just because someone has good intentions, that don't mean their information is coming from the right place. They may have been misled themselves. So now they're feeding you the bullshit they were fed. Think about it that way. It's not that they're trying to deceive you. They don't know no better. I'm just saying, like Dane Holloway says, I'm just here to make you think. I don't want to live in darkness anymore. I want to live in truth. And if the truth hurts, let it hurt. burn, baby, burn. Burn all that bullshit out my brain. I don't want to have that bullshit in my brain anymore. And that's something I'm working hard to get out of my brain. All the bullshit that's been downloaded from birth, almost a freaking half a century of bullshit. Once we understand that it's bullshit, then we can start getting the bullshit out of our brains. We have to change the narrative. Stop trying to pet people's feelings. I loved my society when I was growing up. It was brutally honest. People said it like it was. They called it like it was. I met a Middle Eastern guy down here. This restaurant he has called Peter Bonita. He's lived in the U.S. He's from Israel. He's lived in California. He's lived in New York, and he's got that New York vibe. I was at this place with this white lady, Caucasian lady, European lady, whatever. I don't like to call them white because they're not white. Not coming from the U.S. I'm white in the U.S. Because white is not a race. It's a social status. It means that you are indigenous and pure natural to the land. Anyway, that was a side note. But yeah, he was saying how we was talking, and he was talking about how, it's kind of jacked up how they took their land and left them just with a little corner and blah, 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 and they were forced to move. So the lady goes, well, you ain't got to worry about that. You're here now. So he turned and looked at her like, but that's the energy I'm coming from. And she was like, but you're here, just let that go. So he looked at her. Now, his New York came out. He looked at her and goes, then he goes, oh, okay, you don't understand. You white girl. And he said it so matter-of-factly. I hollered. And then she kind of was like, so he goes, see, that's why she's laughing, because she gets it. I hollered. Brutal honesty. You white girl, you don't get it. And he wasn't trying to be mean. He wasn't trying to be nasty. He was being factual. Because when you come from a society where everything is basically you're told you're the greatest, your people have invented everything, lies. Your people have conquered everything, lies. Your people have discovered everything, lies. You begin to walk around with this air of arrogance. I'm the best and everyone else bow to me. Literally. Watch Jane Elliott. She's a white woman that tells you, white, she was like, white, we walk around with so much arrogance because of lies. And he was busting her bubble. You don't get it because you white. You can't get it. No hate involved, just truth. But so fragile, they can't hear, you're not great, you're not wonderful, you're not the best. And when they don't hear, then, what? Like my neighbor, we watching something about how, they was talking about how white men are killing themselves in record numbers around the world due to drug overdose and suicide. Well, he didn't listen to the whole thing. He was just like, yeah, that's because we're working to death to protect, to provide for our families. That's why we're dying of heart attacks. But not me. He started beating on his chest like a barbarian. But not me. I'm not gonna die. Really? But see, that's that white supremacy. That's that white superiority. They're thinking that I'm the shit. We do everything so great. We're the only people that work hard to take care of our families. That's what we're dying of heart. Nah, y'all dying of heart attacks because y'all bubble was getting busted. Y'all beginning to realize, y'all beginning to see through the lies. We ain't that fucking great. Beginning to realize how the fuck you discover some shit where people are already there. That doesn't make sense. That's not discovering, that's finding. But that just goes, that's a small part of it, that there's no hate in that. I'm looking at him like he didn't mean nothing by it. But when you're raised to believe a certain way, what else are you gonna believe? Just like when his Puerto Rican wife, who is, as he says, white, said that she was, kind of stressing about her grandmother coming to visit, because when she was growing up in Puerto Rico, every time her grandmother came to visit, she would grab a comb and comb her hair, and if there was any tangles, she would pop her. He's like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that is crazy, but unfortunately, it's all too common. What? Well, how come I've never heard of that? No hate involved. I said, well, why would anyone have to tell you to be white? Well, what are you talking about? And straighten your hair. My hair is curly. Really? See, that's that white fragility. When y'all are faced with the truth of the damage of your evil, demonic, sick ancestors, y'all go straight to that river, floating down the river of denial. Just go, nah, 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 nah. Because if I don't know about it, it can't be real. Really? Newsflash, y'all left out all this shit. Why would anyone have to tell you to be more white? Why would anyone have to tell you to straighten your hair when your hair is already straight? Why would anyone have to tell you to lighten your skin when your skin is already light? Why would anyone have to tell you to straighten your nose when your nose is already straight? That is, and see, they can't, you won't hear those things because why would you? I don't understand it. And they're like, these your ancestors, these your fucked up ancestors. But you can't face it. You can't face it. I done ranted enough today. Y'all have a glorious day. And remember, think logically. Think logically. Research, research, research. Never take anyone's word for anything. Never. Not one word. Research, research, research. 85% of Europeans have no pineal gland due to the Ice Age. Research. That explains a lot of the world. Research, research, and get the fuck off Google. Because Google gonna tell you what they want, what it wants you to. Anything you want to hear, Google gonna tell you. Get out of Google and get in a real book. Not books from the U.S. written by white men. Because of course they're gonna tell you from their point of view. Read real science. Have a glorious day.